To make a revolution is to face lots of challenges and challenges every days we have, and thank God we manage to raise them. It is the case. So these recent weeks, which have been rich in on the battlefield, the pressure is climb. So in this month of October, God, thank you, it is crowned by several success, and we will therefore continue to step up operations until annihilate these barbarians who came to therefore disturb our peace. Let's give thanks to God, the CEO and the turn of face. So therefore all ended yesterday. Thank goodness no major incident. Some falls therefore at tour level do foe, but the minister reassured me that these are therefore minor injuries which were taken care of at the level of Chow. Also unfortunately there was a small incident due to the explosion of a gas bottle, which also did a few injured, also taken into account burden. So we can only give thanks to God for the holding of these two events which still bear witness therefore the resilience of the people. Burkinabe, who comes to expose the lies of these media, which tries to convey a narrative that the Burkina is on fire and blood, but the runners were able to travel the country length and breadth without incident. And also this is the place to make tribute to the different strengths of defense and security and our visionaries VDP, who have done everything possible to ensure that all these events take place without problem. There is also during therefore of weeks enough event here at the presidency, including a certain number of those responsible for the different ministerial departments that I held to receive personally to try of redirect government action, seeking to ration the expenditure of functioning, because we realize that the operation takes up so much space within our budget that we were obliged to read these thousands of pages, and not for the pleasure of the eyes, but we had to read it, bring in each manager, and to try to ration so that the budget used to make investments, socio-economic structuring basic to benefit of our popular masses. All those who have passed here, who have participated in the exercise, recognize that we have enough expenses in the operation, and we will continue in this sense to minimize the expenses of functioning of the administration to be able to invest better for the benefit of our populations, those who understood the message. I think this is the case for most of them. I therefore invite them to redouble our efforts to ensure that we can minimize the expenses of functioning. Everything that can be saved must be saved and invested for the benefit of our populations. Water drinking is not a guarantee for everything. The world here in Burkina Faso, we are today also struggling for food sovereignty. There is so many challenges that it is necessary save as much as possible to be able to meet these challenges. Unfortunately, in this context, we realize that there are still black sheep who tries to play with time, maybe, but we have gone from years to raise awareness. I think that at a given moment, the people themselves found that we are raising too much awareness. We had to take action, and from at some point we decided to move on. Has the act, I would like to inform you here that unfortunately during these last time, therefore, following a denunciation on complaint, we discovered a network of unfortunately within the Ministry of Humanitarian Action itself. This ministry, which was supposed to act for the benefit of the most deprived, it is in this ministry that people have allowed to embezzle money and billion. In 2024 they diverted several billion. The police did an excellent investigative work which allowed us to discover many goods of luxury vehicles, a good number of things in any case that was seized, and the case was therefore transferred to a court. Is to say that if we don't take it seriously, control, there will always be this kind of people who believe that everything is allowed to embezzle billions above all. At the Ministry of Humanitarian Action, in this context there are agentia who were caught in this who are in prison currently, hundreds of millions diverted from the food which should therefore go to the benefit of the most many for the benefit of these people, internally displaced people, and it is in this ministry that people have tried to embezzle see this money, and I am convinced that it exists almost everywhere because we are continuing the investigation. Often there are these arrests that you may not understand, but we know why we do it. There are still many people who try to embezzle money. Public, we are not going to have pity for these individuals. It's the opportunity therefore to challenge the Regulations Commission, therefore this operation that was put in place, because there are a lot of denunciations that reached the level of the presidency here to get down to business, work seriously, and we allow us to find all these thieves who hide in the administration. We cannot tolerate this in these moments of fighting against terrorism where people sacrifice themselves. The land and others are at the back, allow themselves to steal billions and to indulge in luxury. It's difficult to pin down this situation on top of all that there is of Burkinabe's patriotism. We all followed the efforts that have been made to be able to buy a new plane last times, and I was obliged to receive the last week to mechanics from the company, which as soon as the plane arrives,
Ça, c'est du sabotage pur et dur. Un avion qui arrive le 2 et le 3, vous décidez de ne pas travailler des mécaniciens. Nous étions obligés de les recevoir et de passer donc le message qu'ils vont travailler de gré ou de force. On ne demande pas à quelqu'un, nous n'allons pas négocier encore. Ils vont travailler et c'est ce qui est en train de se faire. À l'armée de l'air, il y a des mécaniciens qui ne touchent pas ce qu'eux ils touchent, mais qui se sacrifient jour et nuit pour que les appareils soient en vol pour pouvoir soutenir les forces combattantes. Ils n'ont jamais réclamé un franc de plus. Donc ce sont des genres d'esprits que nous sommes en train de combattre. Et c'est pourquoi j'ai dit faire une révolution, ce sont des défis. Et tous les jours, il y a des défis. Et il en sera ainsi. Pour tous ceux qui vont essayer de saboter, nous prendrons les mesures qu'il faut, de gré ou de force. Ils vont faire ce qu'ils doivent faire pour la patrie. Nous n'allons plus tolérer un certain nombre de choses. L'heure de la sensibilisation est passée. Il faut que tout le monde se mette au travail au profit de nos masses populaires. Les Burkinabés ont assez souffert et continuent de souffrir. Il faut qu'à un moment donné, ça s'arrête. La masse populaire a le droit aussi de connaître un peu de joie, de vivre et de savourer ce qui appartient au Burkina Faso, nos richesses. Il n'y a pas de raison que cela appartienne juste à un groupuscule et qui se permette de dilapider cet argent public-là. Donc, à travers vous, je vous invite à passer le message dans les différentes administrations, dans les différents départements, et aussi continuer à prendre les dénonciations pour que nous puissions agir de manière efficace. Merci à tous et je souhaite que cette fin d'année soit donc un moment d'intense boulot, parce que c'est le moment des bilans, de faire les rétrospectives et de voir qu'est-ce qui a marché au cours de l'année 2024 pour qu'on puisse se projeter de manière assez rigoureuse en 2025 pour relever les défis qui vont se poser à nous. Merci et bonne chance à tous et bonne suite du mois de novembre.